I've got the chords from the last video. I changed the style, done a bit of panning, and I got a nice little groove going on here. And it sounds nice, but it needs a melody. Now, Band in a Box has the facility for auto-generative music. It can generate chords, whole songs, melodies, titles even, solos. And in this video, I want to take a look at generating a melody for this. So we're going to start by using the Melodist button over here, and we can also get to it with the shortcut Shift and F5. So here we see a list of melodists on the left, and we choose one, and that's sort of the starting point for what we want. Now we can also search over here, which I'll get to in a minute, but we can select one here to start with if we want. Now here we can generate different aspects of the song. We can generate complete songs here. We can generate melody. We can allow style changes. And here, if I just go all, it's going to enable everything all at once. But for now, I want to just generate a melody. These are kind of shortcut buttons. So I'm going to have it generate only a melody, and I'm not going to allow style changes because I want to keep this accompaniment that I have over here. I just want it to generate a solo for me. Now I can determine the form here, and really this is pertaining to when it's generating a whole song. In this case, I'm going to specify where I want. So this isn't really relevant, but it can generate a 32 AABA song or no form, and we can specify the number of choruses and so on. But for now, I want to focus on this area here. My song is in the key of G, so I'm going to select G. And this is, again, when it's generating chord progressions, the percent of the time that it's going to generate a minor key. And here I want to generate for part of the song. I want it, this is a 16 bar section that I have so far. So I want it to generate only in the first chorus and starting at bar 1 for 16 bars. And if we swipe across a range here before we open this, it'll default to that range. But for now, I want it to generate 16 bars. Here, again, when we're generating a longer, more complex song, complete song, we can have it transpose at the different sections and maybe add lead-ins and stuff. This isn't really relevant at the moment. So here we can search for different criteria, and I've typed in rock here, and let's go OK. And it's selected this melodist for me. Let's try something else. I'm going to search for rock organ. I think I want an organ melody in this. So let's go OK. All right, let's try that. Now my range here reverted back for some reason, so I want it to go till bar 16. Part of the song, I got my key set and my patch information here where I can choose all this, and I can have it change instruments wherever there's a different chords or part marker, like we have A there. These are all A's, but if I had B's set up at part markers and substyle changes and so on, let's just leave it at none for the moment. And I can optionally use MIDI or real styles, and I'm going to just leave it like that. And here we determine what track it's going to write it to. We have the choice between the melody track and soloist track. So I'm going to choose the melody track and click OK. And it's going to generate a melody for me. All right, that's great. Now let's say I don't like the melody in these 2 bars. I just want to replace those 2 bars. So I'm going to select those 2 bars, and I'm going to hit Shift F5 to open it up. And it should remember my settings pretty much, except for the range, which it's now got set. First chorus for 2 bars starting at bar 7. And now before I generate it again, we can get into the Melodist Maker like we saw with the soloist, where we can really go in and fine tune some of the specifics here. So yeah, I want even eighths, maybe even 16ths on that particular bar. We can specify a change in the instrument and other various criteria. Let's maybe make it a little bit behind the beat. I'll type in 2 there and space that and increase the velocity maybe by 15 just to create some variations. And let's just click OK. Melody range I'm going to leave like that. We'll click OK, and let's see what it comes up with now with those changes. That's great. So it raised it up into a higher range leading into this next section. So it's a great way to sort of customize the range and what it's going to produce. Now I'm going to hit save here, and I want to look briefly at just using it as an overall song generator. So let's just go new, and we can get some more generative music, this time a little more full featured. So here, let's go all. It's going to generate chords for me, melody. It'll allow style changes. I'm going to pick a different key. Let's pick maybe B. And we have options to kill the intro, pedal notes, melodies, and solos once it's generated. But let's go whole song, and we can specify here. We'll go for that typical form. Let's go for maybe 4 choruses. And here I can set the tempo manually, or if I choose auto tempo, it'll go for an optimal tempo for whichever melodist it chooses, whatever style's associated with that, it'll go for the optimal setting. But let's maybe dictate a tempo of our own here just to not leave it completely to chance. And here again, we can have it add in transpositions and lead-ins and things like that. And I think that's it. We're good to go. I'm going to leave the rest as is. We'll use restyles, and let's generate a whole new song. And actually, let's go change each chorus. It's called it Wonder of a January Encounter. It's my intro. Great, so I can call up the Melodist window again, and here I can go, let's say, kill intro. Now, it's removed it already. If I go OK, it's going to regenerate the song, which I don't want, so I can just hit cancel now, and it'll now start it from the top. All right, and again, we can modify it once we have this initial idea in different ways. Like maybe I want to kill the melody and just have the accompaniment, and maybe I want to come up with my own melody. And again, I'm going to hit cancel so it doesn't generate a new one. So it can be some interesting, in this case, chord progressions, or it might be a melody that you like and want to redo the chords. The idea is that it's generative music, and it's there to inspire. And of course, you can take any element, maybe you like the organ part or the guitar part or the bass part, and use that to build on. Now, one last thing I want to show you, Shift F5 to bring that back. We have a jukebox version of this window here where it'll keep generating new songs one after another until the number you specify here. And it'll even change melodists if you want each new song that it generates. We'll continue with more in the next video.